everybody, it's me, Margaret, and this is going to be one of those videos where I have a conglomeration of clips that I'm doing just to keep you caught up. And if you'll remember from the last vlog, I bought some yarn. I did a Michael's sale. I used Michael's Pro Packs to buy this yarn. Here it is in here, but I had not completed the yarn purchases for what I wanted to do. So I did add a little bit to the haul, but just to catch you up, this yarn right here was part of that Michael's haul. It is the Repeat Crafter Me gingerbread blanket. I'll put a picture in here so you'll know what I'm talking about. I bought Impeccable. It was a good price, can't remember what it was. Just a basic acrylic, because this is a seasonal, cutesy little blanket. It's not going to be out all the time or even used for long periods of time. This will be great for that, so I'm happy with that purchase. And Impeccable is a good workhorse yarn. I like that. But, well, wait, before we go to the next thing, let me finish talking about this. I did something really stupid. Wait, rewind. Okay, the way this is done is it's a circle and then you turn it into a square. It's basically a granny square, one big giant granny square. And that's not difficult, but yet I managed to mess it up. First thing I don't like about this is the fact that her instructions for the circle, it just didn't work with me. It's not lying flat. She doesn't do the basic increase formula, and if you want to know what that is, look at a video I did called Tricks in Troubleshooting Hat Sizing, and I explain how we do increases on circles traditionally. Now, what Sarah of Repeat Crafter Me normally does, and I like this, is that instead of doing her hats that way, she uses a modified version of it in order to get a tapered hat. And for some reason, she used that same method here, and I don't get a flat circle when I use that method. So I thought maybe by continuing on that it would eventually flatten out, or maybe with enough pulling and washing and drying or whatever, and maybe it would. I don't know. But it's still puckering quite a bit in the middle right there. But that's not what I messed up. What I did was, it's supposed to be done in the round, but not continuous rounds. You're supposed to join the end of each row. Her instructions didn't say this, but I just made sure that I joined at every corner. At least that was my goal. Somewhere along the line in working this thing, I missed the join. I somehow or another turned it into a continuous round where I'm just going round and round. There's no join, and I have no recollection of how I did that. Clearly I was not paying attention while I was doing this. I knit or crochet in the evening when I'm tired, because it is a relaxing activity for me. But as a result, I may not pay attention, and you know, it just happens. So that begs the question, do I continue on and just wing it, budget, do something like that, or do I rip it back? Well, considering is that there are two errors, or two things I'm not happy with, the non-flat circle and then my mistake that I made up here, I'm thinking I might just need to rip the whole thing back. It goes pretty quickly. Oh, you're looking at the back. It goes pretty quickly, but I hate to rip back this much work. But you know what? I'm a process knitter and crocheter, not a project-oriented knitter and crocheter, so I think it'll be all right if I rip it back. But that brings me on to the next yarn that I bought. I got the Michael's Pro Pack, which is a discounted bulk purchase option that they provide, of this Red Heart Simply Soft, no, not Simply Soft, Red Heart Soft, just plain soft. Gray is a very useful color. I can use it for anything, but in my mind, I was buying it to make another type of lapgan. And what I needed but didn't have at the time would be something that could provide that gradient color pop inside. So I actually went in a store, and I kind of avoid that if at all possible, but I think I've been driving myself crazy just hanging around here all the time. So I went on an outing and I ended up with 4 of these. Now this is Yarn Bee, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is exclusively a Hobby Lobby thing. I don't know. But I like Yarn Bee. I like that entire line. I have found a lot of different ones that I like a lot. This particular one is called the Glowing line, and the colorway is Finch Feather. And that is the collection of colors that I've got down there for my accent colors in the living room. It's very soft. It's 60% acrylic, 40% polyester, so number 4 medium, although it is on the lighter side of number 4 medium. And since all their yarn was 30% off, I was happy with this deal. And speaking of the deal, I'm not actually sure I'm going to make a lap gown out of it. If you are familiar with my channel, then you know that I generally don't make large projects or projects that take a long time. I usually like small things that I can whip out, and for some reason I have been in this I'm going to make bigger projects type mentality. So I'm starting with these small lap gowns. So we'll see. If not, this could make a really great scarf or shawl or something like that with this gray and colorful combo. I really like it. So there you go. Now what I'm holding in my hand right now is the lemon peel hat. I am almost through with this tutorial. What I have to do is sit down and go ahead and do the body of the hat, film the brim, and then finish all the editing. Update, I am finished and it's up. Oh, I'll have to film an intro too. And then finish all the editing. And speaking of that, can you see? No, it's not in the frame. Come see what I actually got. I can't believe I bit the bullet and got this, and I am so happy that I did. Dun dun dun! This is my Microsoft Surface Studio. Isn't it beautiful? It's huge. I mean, look at it, you know, with my face here. It's huge, and it's awesome. Now, in this instance right here is my editing process, and I've discovered some things about my editing software that I didn't even know it had, because this nice big screen shows me things so clearly. For example, if I wanted to fade one into the other, it's called crossfade, there's actually a tiny little black line down at the bottom here that shows me the extent of the fade. I never had that information because I couldn't see it on a regular screen. So I'm so excited. If you're new to my channel, then you probably don't know that I am first and foremost a techno person. And later, many, many years later, did I pick up yarn and crochet. So this right here is like coming home. It's so exciting for me to have this big giant machine. It's 32 gigs of RAM and 2 terabyte hard drive, all in this tiny little thing right here, and it is so powerful, which ends up saving me so much time. Here I had an Asus laptop that was also pretty powerful, or is pretty powerful, but still when you do big projects like, big programs like editing, it eats a lot of your resources. So there's plenty of times where the thing would lock up and I'd have to restart, and it just is annoying. So I thought to myself, I have not had a new computer in about 6 years, so it's time. So boom, I upgraded. Now, something that takes a really long time is that I do not migrate computers by completely copying the hard drive and putting it on here. I know if most of you are techno people only at work, then you're probably most familiar with that happening with your new computer at work. It's faster for them just to say, let's just copy this entire hard drive and dump it onto the new computer, but you know what? You end up inheriting a lot of the problems that you had with your other computer. So I don't do that. I get fresh installs of all my programs, and it takes a long time to get it set up again exactly like I like it, but yet it's worth it because you have fewer problems and everything works a lot more smoothly. And of course, this thing is also a touch screen, so now I've been getting sidetracked by playing with the different features that it has. For example, it's got a whiteboard on it, which is really fun, and this stylus that just kind of is a magnet and sits over there, and so you can literally draw, flip it over just like a regular pen, and erase. So that's fun. And then if you set it to do certain things like ink to shape, if I draw a triangle, it'll make it a pretty triangle. So I'm thinking, how can I use this in my videos? And I've been coming up with different ideas because, like I said, I am in the process of making more tutorials, specifically, you know, patterns and stuff like that, but I also like the theory of why things have to be done, because once you understand how a hat is sized, you all of a sudden have all this power. You can control whatever pattern is in front of your face. You can see what they've done. You can get ideas to create your own, become a new designer. So I mean, it's education is power. So do I know how I'm going to use this yet? No, I don't, but I sure am having a good time playing with it. And it is like a great big giant iPad too. You just kind of, you know, move it around and you can do all those same type of things that you do with an iPad. So it's really been fun. So playing with my new toy here is really cutting in on my time because it's really fun. However, here are 4 videos that I'm working on right now that I've got to stop playing and finish up. This vlog, the one I'm talking about right now, I need to edit it, get it uploaded. Well, I guess I have to finish it first, then edit, get it uploaded. This one that I'm also working on, which was the lemon peel hat tutorial, I've got to edit that and get it put up. And then this is the Photo Fast. This is a neat little product that was sent to me, and it turns out to be really, really awesome. If you do not back up your phone by the cloud or something like that, or more importantly, what if you're a person who uses their phone for, you know, taking pictures and all that kind of stuff, and then you get frustrated when it's full and you don't have a normal way to back up your pictures so that you can easily clear them off? You want this. It is so wonderful. Backs up your phone for safety and clears off those pictures or whatever, and it's just this simple little device, easy to use and all. So I'm going to do a review on that, and also a wonderful gift, by the way, for somebody too. And Cynthia, if you are watching, I am she/the Yarnaholic now. I know you have trouble all the time with getting not having enough room on your phone. So I know this is something that you would probably love, so look for that. And then the last one is this new size massage gun that was sent to me, and I know you might be saying, oh Margaret, I'm tired of massage guns. You might be, but I'm not. I think these things are awesome, and this is a new size. It's not as small as that mini that I showed you before, and it's not as big as your regular standard size. The standard size are usually the more preferred version. That's not the right word. The more common version. Not everybody, not all the different lines make a small mini version, but the mini is my favorite, and it's rapidly gaining popularity. However, this one is a little cross between the two, and I have to say it is quickly becoming my favorite, but we'll talk about that later. But anyhow, I need to stop playing with this big toy here and really concentrate on knocking these 4 things out. You know, this vlog that I'm filming here and this tutorial that I'm filming here are neck and neck. I'm not sure which one I'm going to actually be able to finish first and get it up. So, not that it really matters to you, but that's just a little background in sheepishly sharing land. Rolling chairs sound like a great idea, but they're totally useless when somebody that you love always blocks your path. I have about 500 things on my to-do list today, but I'm totally sidetracked with these hats. These samples that I did for that recent tutorial about avoiding these gappy seams and leaning seams. For example, I got this one that I worked up. It's a continuous round hat. Very simple. But I look at it and I'm thinking, well, it's great. It's just kind of blah. What can we do to jazz it up? So I went searching through my scraps and I found that, which was Aurora Borealis. It was, I don't remember the exact colorway, but it was from Hobby Lobby, and I love the colors in it. So I thought maybe I would pair it with the original purple right here and make a pom-pom and see what kind of, just see what that looked like. So here in the handy dandy dream box, we have an assortment of poms. And this blue one tends to be my favorite for a regular adult small medium hat. So I'm going to try this blue one. Let's see what we get. You know, I just use yarn when I do my pom-poms, you know, holding them all together. And a lot of people will ask me, well, do they stay together? Like, can you pull out the individual pom fronds, for lack of a better term? And I suppose I could if I tried, but something that I do before I donate any of my hats is I wash them. And when you wash a pom-pom, it ends up creating a type of friction, and it just kind of holds all the little pieces and parts together. At least I've found that to be true. However, people use things like dental floss or crochet thread. That's another good one. And they find that it holds better for them. So again, like I say, there are no rules in crochet or knitting for that matter. So do what you feel most comfortable with. I really like the way that came out. The kitties are fighting over there and they're distracting me. Well, they're not fighting, they're actually playing, but only one of them wants to play. The other one doesn't want any part of it. Hey, this is what's happening. Buzzy loves to play, and Cozy does not want any part of this game. And eventually, Buzzy loses interest because her big sister is boring. And off she goes. So I think that gave a little life to this purple hat, but you can really see how combining the colors took that down a shade, didn't it? But it also tied in the color that's in the hat, so I like it. And speaking of purple, I don't think I showed you December's knit crate. It was purple bag that says Yarn Squad, and then I got the lavender colorway, so I'm not sure if other people had bags that matched their colors. So this is called Knit Yorker. It's an Audine wool twinkle DK, and the twinkle comes from the fact that it has sparklies in it. Can you see the sparklies? It's 80% merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% stellina, which would be the sparkly stuff in there. Hand wash only, lay flat to dry as usual. You'll remember that I get the eco-friendly package, so it comes with this biodegradable mailer and all that stuff, and then always they give us a little information about what the project is for this month, and they're supporting One Tree Planted, and it gives you specifically what the project is this month, and that's up in the Mantiqueira Mountains in Brazil. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It talks about all the different partners that are working together on this particular project and gives you some of the explanations of the environmental concerns and how it's affecting not only the natural area but the urban areas as well, and that in turn affects the rest of us. Newsflash, I spoke with Sister Margaret Mary the other day, and if you didn't know, she's in treatment for stage 4 uterine cancer, and she just had her last chemo treatment, and that's something to celebrate right there. She's feeling okay. She has a lot of fatigue, as you may imagine, but she's still able to crochet, and she's written a song, and during chemo treatment she did this art therapy, and again, if you don't know who I'm talking about, she's also legally blind. And she actually painted a picture and there's just no stopping this woman. I'm quite proud of her. We are still asking for prayers for the scans, to hear that here we got good news when the scans come about to see how the chemo performed. So keep that in mind, and I'll let you know about the next stages of her treatment. And she says thank you for asking, and she's asking for more prayers, so continued prayers. So we thank you for that, and we'll keep you posted. Okay, it's a sad day. I'm going to go ahead and rip out all of this yarn from this blanket and start it over again. This is going to be very tedious. See, the problem is that I used a center pull ball and I pulled from the center while I was crocheting, right? So now I've got to wrap all this up because I don't want to cut the yarn. Why not? Why do I not want to cut the yarn? I know how to put yarn together and join it. That's stupid. I'm cutting it. Wait, where am I cutting it? Right there. All right, now I can put this back and it's still a center pull ball. Where's the center pull? I don't know. Okay, take two. It is much easier to ball up a center pull ball than it is to have that yarn flopping all around everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it in from the center, and I'll just have to make 2 balls out of this 1 ball, and it will be fine. And if you don't have a ball winder, I would strongly suggest getting one. I had one from Knit Picks that I used for years, and it was wonderful, and it finally broke. This one is not an expensive one. They do make ones that are, you know, much more high quality than what I have. This one came from Amazon, and it's fine. It is a Craft Destiny. I have no idea what that is, but it works great for my purposes. So recently I threw out an Ask Me Anything quest to see if anybody had any questions, because it's been a while since we've done a Q&A. Usually a lot of these things involve yarn or techniques or something like that, but you know, personal questions are fine within reason, of course. But a few videos ago I mentioned that I held a certification in lifestyle and weight management, and I used to do classes about, you know, changing your lifestyle essentially, and somebody said, ooh, do some health tips. And I'm not adverse to that, but health tips are somewhere along the line of discussing politics and religion. We can't all agree on what is healthy, and I don't want to go there. But there are some things that everybody agrees on, whether it's health professionals or nutritionists or scientists, and that is, we know, number one, that being overweight is unhealthy. And number two, whether you're overweight or not, exercise is necessary. If you're a human being, you need to be moving. And so I thought, okay, those are 2 safe topics. Let me throw out a tip or 2, because one of the biggest things when I used to teach this class was I need motivation. I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to exercise. Whatever, I need motivation. So motivation comes in different form and fashion for everybody. It depends on who you are, because healthy lifestyle is far more about your mind than it is about your body. It's all about making the right choices, and it's a lot of psychology that goes into it. How we got overweight to begin with, to why we're complacent about staying there, to even though we know that we need to change, what's going to make us change? Well, finding your motivation is that secret. So I want to throw a couple of things out here. First of all, mine were emotional. My motivations are emotional. For example, I'm aging. I hate the way that my neck is aging and the quality of my skin. Can't do a thing about that, but I can control other aspects of my body, and that's losing control of one's body is like a huge human fear. And that seems what that's kind of like what aging is doing, and I don't really like it. So staying healthy in any form or fashion is a great boon for me. I really like that. Number 2, thinking about aging. I want to be the grandparent that can run around in the backyard. I want to be able to pick that baby up and that toddler and do all those kind of things. And no, I don't have any grandchildren, but I'm thinking ahead. Another reason, I'll be an older grandparent probably before I ever get my first grandchild. So I want to be healthy. And number 3, my mom was older when she had me. She had me at 42. So she was the same age as a lot of my friends' grandparents. And I know what it's like to have somebody not be able to keep up with me and you know, do the things that I expected her to do. And of course, when my children came along, she wasn't able to do all those things. And I am determined to be as strong and healthy and fit as I can. So see where those are emotional things? All right, well, let me show you another thing. This works like a charm, and this is a good boost for me when I start to get kind of lackadaisical about the whole thing. And that is, look around your house and pick up something. Like, for instance, this is 8 pounds of Epsom salt. Walk around with this 8 pounds of Epsom salt for about 30 minutes. Okay, don't put it down. Shift it to your weight like this. Just continue to carry it around like this for as long as you possibly can. And then when you put it down, you end up feeling so free and so light. And you think about, I have 8 pounds to lose. This is how much better I would feel. Think about when you're holding that 8 pounds, what does it feel like on your feet? Okay, because if you have joints or feet or knee or any kind of issue like that, the extra weight is going to cause you more problems. So when you see a visual of what 8 pounds is, you know, and think about how you're carrying that all over your body, it's a little bit motivation to say, ooh, I can put this down. What would I feel like if that was literally not on my body every day? Okay, if you have more weight than that to lose, then you might want to think of something like this. This is cat litter, and it tells me it is 20 pounds of cat litter. And I know average Americans, 20 pounds is nothing. They carry around 20 pounds, extra 20 pounds, a lot. So walk around with this. Now the benefit to your body is that it tends to spread those pounds all over. You'll have it in your face, you'll have it in your hips, you'll have it in your legs. It's everywhere. So it makes carrying it around just a little bit easier than this. But again, go ahead and carry it around. And then when you put it down, you're going to be so free of that weight that your first thought's going to be, gosh, how much better would I feel if it wasn't on my body? So there's that. And then last but not least, get yourself some leg weights. Now I'm trying to think first of all of things that didn't cost any money that can motivate you. But another thing would be get yourself some leg weights and walk around with leg weights. Now this is 3 pounds, so I have 2. So walking around I'd be carrying 6 extra pounds. I take my walks with these on, just doing housework, for example, climbing up and down the stairs, just doing whatever. When you take them off, your feet feel like, oh, your legs just feel so light. It's a great visual to help you see what it would be like if you could be bewitched, boom, and take off 6 pounds off your body right away. It's a pretty impressive exercise. And look at these classes from the health and wellness category of Skillshare, who, by the way, is the sponsor of this video. I do want to highlight this class about how your lifestyle choices affect your brain health. In a nutshell, if we sit around like a bunch of slugs and we make poor food choices, we're actually accelerating our cognitive decline. That's a scary thought. But we've also got some good info on sleep and cooking and meditation. And don't forget that crafting is a good meditation activity. And you might like this art journaling for your mental health. I know you've heard me sing the praises of Skillshare before, but every time I bring it up, I'm trying to highlight another topic that probably would interest you that's available on this online learning platform. So try it out for free. The first 1,000 people that click the link in the description box below get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So it's worth it. Give it a try. So let's move on. So I'm in the garage and I've set up some sort of little spray paint area. I'm protecting my car right there with these boxes because the winds are always so high here in Texas. Plus, it's cold. So I'm spraying this. I use a gray neutral to do tutorials over because it keeps my camera from doing wacky things with the light. Took me forever to figure that out, by the way. But I accidentally dented it, so now I have to do the other side. And in case you're wondering, it's the color Coastal Gray, and it's just this basic spray paint that you can get anywhere. Now you might remember, if you've been with me a while, this wonderful antique lamp. It was my grandmother's and it was in my house growing up, and I absolutely adore it. Now earlier this year I spent a lot of time getting layers of paint off of this, and I ended up finding that pressure washing did the best trick. I can't budge this last little bit that is on here, and I'm just going to paint over it. Now another problem was what color. Now the base of this thing is real live iron. I don't know what the staff is made of. That thing is iron right there, and then the top portion is iron. Now color options were endless, but I felt like if I got too cutesy with white or red that would go with my room up there, that I might cheapen it. So I am sticking with this called oil rubbed bronze. So let's see how it turns out. And here's how it turned out. I'm not sure if you can see it in all its glory in this room. It looks black to me in the camera, but it's definitely that oil bronze. It even has a slight little sheen to it, kind of a small little glitter. So I think I really like it. It looks good. Now I've got it in here in Tucker's office, and was taking over the process of wiring it for me, but for some reason it won't go all the way through. It's like there's something blocking it, and we can't quite figure out what the problem is, so that's a little hold up. But I guess baby steps, right? So I'm going to leave you with the reworked blanket, the progress I have so far, and the way I did the circle made it lie flat a whole lot better, although I did have to eliminate one of the rows. But I'm pleased with it, so we'll see if I get a nice cute gingerbread blanket. Coming soon. And don't forget, if you have any questions you want to throw my way, put them in the comments section below. Talk soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.